Hello, everyone. Welcome to our live stream for our Edible Essentials workshop. I'm Donna Guerin, founder of Global Lighthouse Studios. We connect teachers and students around the world through the lens of music and the arts. And I'm excited today to be joined by a special guest in our studio, Marrioth Ling, who is here today to talk to us about art and food and how we can bring the two together. So whenever you're ready, Marrioth, you can go ahead and introduce yourself, and we'd love to hear from you.
Well, thank you very much, Donna, for the invite. And hi, everybody who's watching. I'm very happy to be here today. So I want to speak a little bit about, introduce myself, who I am. My name is Marrioth Ling. I am from Venezuela. I'm a multidisciplinary artist. I'm sharing my screen, so I'm going to pass some slides so you can see a little bit of my work. And also, after we will speak a little bit about art, about some very key artists that I think will possibly open your mind and see art installations or sculptures or the different mediums of art from a different perspective. So I will be a little bit unconventional on my references, as I believe the most unconventional examples has been the ones who has been guiding me to be uh, uh, able to go in different directions and not just only one type of art in my practice. So let's start. Sorry if I'm a little bit nervous. It's just my first time giving a class for
Oh,
kids.
no worries. We're very casual here, and so we've had lots of guests who are nervous on their first live stream. It'll come naturally to you. Go right ahead.
Okay, thank you. So, well, starting about talking about myself, which I'm gonna be quick. I study formally master in films direction, especially in advertisement films. I graduated in Transforming Arts Institute, which is a school in Madrid, Spain. I study social communication, journalism, audiovisual, with mention in film and radio and TV. I studied that in Venezuela in the Bicentenary University of Aragua. I also study fashion and advertisement photography, but that was like a fellowship in Buenos Aires, Argentina. Molds and figurative sculptures in Mexico, sculptures and art object in Mexico also, on a program of the National University of Mexico City. Also did little classes here and there of production, and I has been flirting also with electronic music and performing arts, which means art, theater, contemporary dance too in my country. So, my work experience has been in radio as a host in Venezuela. I speak way better in Spanish, I promise. Also, I has been writing for media, and I has been doing assistant director of advertisement films. We used to film a lot in Peru, where I moved for around 3 years and a half. We had some very cool recognitions doing film as earning Cannes Film Festival, which is one of the most important events for film in the world. So also I has been editing documentary and producing. I'm reading a little bit because I forgot some things. So I do also on a side of advertisement. I has been doing like experimenting with video as a way of communication. Um, when I moved, so after finishing working in Peru filming, I moved to Argentina. to study photography, like I said, and I start freelancing as a photographer, especially for fashion and product photography. After I moved to Mexico, I started doing sculptures and art objects, and found a job here in Arizona, in United States, building an art installation called the Lavatory. We were working like a year and 8 months on it, and the project was 7 immersive art rooms. I was a little bit like the second person in charge of the project, not only for the art construction, which for us was like a big challenge, because we build this from zero to opening doors, and you will see the space, so you will notice how challenging it was. So here, for example, the on the right side of the screen, you will see the sugar room, which it was. We say it was interactive because, well, first of all, when you arrive, it had sensor lights, and we tried to generate like a dark room, completely dark. So when someone stepped into the room, the lights the lights turn on and looks super bright. It was really bright. And it have this space, which it was, all this floor was sugar. So to step into it, you have to cover your shoes, and you can see and explore and walk through the room. So in this little cage that you see, it's a stainless steel next to the table, that it was mice. They were like in real life, walking by this little cage. There it was this baby sculpture that I made myself, and that you see here. There it was sound. Even if, like, if you approach um, the baby start making a sound. So a colleague of mine, Lizzie, which is the one that is standing in the picture of the left with purple hair, she was in charge of sequencing all the sound, and we bring people from other cities to help us with that, to make it really interactive. So we can say that this was an art installation. This particular room is the one that I'm showing here as the first thing, because it was the one that generated more challenge for me, and that I was involved like the most on the process. So all the walls that you see, all these panels, I made these panels by myself in the studio of Tony, which is the owner of the installation. And we use marshmallows. We use chocolate chips, and also when we use this type of, it was real food. After apply in these panels, let's say resin, and let it cure, and literally it long lasts. I mean, I don't know how it is right now, but at the time, the process to get in to the point that it was pristine and white and perfect. um it, I mean, it looks right now like it was, I think. um but like everything art, it is, and especially with food, it is not I mean, it is not like something that is going to long last, or I mean, food is not my specialty. So it was just a medium that we use. On the on this picture, you can see some toys on the left panel side, pencils, little sculptures of militaries. I will show you in detail some of them in the next slides. So I work there on the arrangement of the art installation, on some part of the craftsmanship of the sculptures, also on the media side, doing all the photography, doing the website. When you are an artist, you have to learn how to be resourceful if you don't have a big team, and we were a very small team. So continuing, these were other rooms of the installation that I will show in detail in the next slides. This is the sugar room, again, my favorite. And here there is like me a little bit working, and this is another room in the left. So I don't know if you can distinguish, but the panels that are behind this girl, those were the ones that on the other picture. Of course, you see there is some eggs in some panels. So we try to use the order and the cows in each of the panels. So each panel have a positive and a negative. In the case of the eggs where I pinch them in the bottom of the egg and I extract all the liquid after I wash it with. Yeah, it sounds crazy, but it was because otherwise it will smell. Um, they were not painted; they were just uh, like cleaned. And after I attached them to the board, to the cardboard was painted. Yes. So there you see on the right side there is the eggs smashed, and on the left side they are all perfect. On the top, you see the ping pong balls. Some of them I tried to make them like a cloud, and in the others they were all smashed. The same thing behind, like the same principle. These guys were only models. They are actually artists. Some of them work in Arizona. Some of them work in different states. Michelle and Mike. So the idea of this room, it was how much parents sometimes are very into their devices. So, for example, when you see here, let me see, there is a parent, like a dad and a mother. There is the little baby, and they are with an iPad, and the other have a phone. The iPad, when you approach the sculpture, you can see yourself in the iPad. So the logistic of that, it was not easy, like to make this to be every time charged, to make the living animals. It was like a lot going on in this room, but it is fun. People used to pay tickets, and they tour the installation and interact with it. Here there is another panel. So we have a bunch of pictures of this type because we had to promote it like in Facebook, to call visitors to buy tickets, and then so the installation remain open. Right now it's closed, by the way. So this is another two panels. So for this, for example, there it was like I found these little puppies and I cut them on half. I know it sounds very crazy. I put a half of them in one in the right side panel and the other on the front, and I made these little puppies for the right panel. I know it sounds like that, but when you work with an art team, you have to listen guidance. And in my case, I'd had a boss, which it was like the creative director of everything. And even if the art installation was confirmed by different artists who was helping him to make this happen and have a point of view and propose and everything, that it's like a editorial line that we have to just follow and add to it. So this is again this. This is a video of. This is a video of a little photo shoot. Some of these pictures are here. We put a lot of powder on the model because it was a sugar room. Um, those are the panels with the little militaries. Um, the process of curing and putting these together, it was very fun. It was the most fun part. Um, Here also like a making of picture. So that's like how it really looks, and in reality, that's the final product of the picture. Um, these panels were made of pencils. By the way, these panels, we advise to the people to don't touch them because yeah. Um, so this is another room, which it was the Mona Lisa room, where we deconstruct the image of the Mona Lisa, which is like one of the most famous paints of history. It was made by Da Vinci, and it's in the Louvre. A lot of people go to see it, and I have been seeing it a lot of times, or as many as I has been in that museum. So what we did is like we smashed it. We made like a puzzle, so people, like you see this lady here with the hand, she can put together the Mona Lisa again. We we made like an intervention of a cow sculpture and reutilize these elements who were from the owner of the studio, and we just plot above the cow, and we put these Mona Lisa vinyls, like a sticker. This is the infinity room. This is one infinity room. It was full of lamps. I will show you later a very good reference of infinity rooms. So then people enter and see themselves multiplied, and it's very, very small space, as every infinity room is. Um, what it is we put mirrors in here and here, and people just pass like for like through a little bridge, let's say, and take pictures. We try to use, for example, for these lamps that we just had like used lamps, and we paint them and make them look great, but in reality they were like from secondhand stores, like trying to make it affordable. This is also from the Mona Lisa room. That was another infinity, and that it was like a visual illusion, like a very, very tiny space, and I love that one. This is the cow that I was talking before. Uh, this one was made by my ex-boss, and it's brilliant. I put it here because I wanted to show you an example of the integration of food with an art piece. In this case, this is an art object, and it was a part of the art installation of the Mona Lisa room. And look at this. It's the Mona Lisa, and this is sugar. So these ants start making like path, and we put light, and it changed colors. So it was very cool. It's a very short video. Sorry. So continuing or stepping out of a little bit of the art installation, which, why we are doing that? I'm seeing that. 1 second. Well, let me just continue with this, but here, I'm sorry. Okay.
That's fine. You're doing great, and it's really fascinating to see, and especially that little thing you just shared about the ants. Like that was pretty interesting.
Yes, that's great. And I mean, I want to say it was my idea, but no, it isn't. It was not. But it's a great example of how you can maybe integrate food and art. Um, so that was this room. It was another of the rooms. It was a giant ball pit, and we did ball drops like every day. So in reality, all these balls were on a huge net. on top of the of this pool. I don't know if you can perceive that on the top of this picture there is like a net. Also, we put like ventilators on the floor of this pit, and there it was like a turbine. So on the middle of it, the balls were blowing. It changed colors with music, and it this is an art installation. How people can interact with art, and how we can just change the meaning of space 100%. There is some people here. This is me there in the mirror taking the picture. This was another of the room, which in reality, I believe I will define it like a lobby. We made this wall of eggs. Yeah. Sometimes I think it was for a Dali reference, which I'm going to talk about him because I'm going to try to link this with some of the reference that we use. Um, this is a little hamster that was there. Uh, let's see. So going out of the installation now,
Mhm.
um, I am coming back to my personal work, which is not as fun as the installation it is. Um, I did some. I participate one time in this fashion show that we organized for doing. It was made of everything was like made of recyclable materials. In the case of myself, I did this piece with Lizzie, my colleague, a very good friend. So we did this with plastic bottles of water, and we cut them and make them look like a sculptural code. This lady, it's a very interesting internet persona, Void, and she had in her hand uh, a fish in a container.
Fishbowl? A fishbowl?
Exactly.
Mm.
Thank you. So she was pointing with this flashlight. We keep the fish. uh, after the event. So the thing is, we were trying just to explain or to say that a lot of plastic was going to the sea, and well, sometimes you have to use elements as a metaphor in art or as an invitation to think or how you can link one thing with the other. So that was our little teeny message. um, so continuing in work experience, just freelancing a lot in different art endeavors. I took pictures of the First Lady of America some years ago. She's there in the right side of the page. On the down of this slide, there is some exhibit I did. I am a little bit shy. I struggle very much trying to showcase what I do. um, Here, Rare Relaxation was an audiovisual landscape I did for a fashion brand in Spain, which means that I try to link audio and images for them to post content in their website when they launch it. The brand, its name is New Rebel, and it was like an hour of a mixtape. A mixtape means um, let's say that I was mixing songs from electronic producers from different places. Um, Another, going to the middle of the slide, there it was just like a picture I made for the promotion of an artist, a musician, Rose is in his name. My friend photographed with an egg there, another model in LA. Um, I has been published my work in different magazines. I wish to work more to make more things for press. Possibly, I will work on that things this year when I want to be less into myself. Um, in photography, like you can notice here, all the pictures are a little bit on the fashion side of photography. Um, I do the art direction of all my pictures. The art direction means that I decide what the model is wearing, how is the space where we are photographing, what are the elements that we are interacting. That's what an art director do. And also, I was photographing. Um, this is some paint work that I do. I love abstract things. I I love it for many reasons, and maybe it's because photography in video it's so perfect that sometimes I feel like I'm missing the wonder of what is this. And also, it's very therapeutical for me to paint. So I try to incorporate these pieces in interior design work. So for that, I'm going to show you. Oh, this is a mural I made for my sister's house. Um, it was with this Buddha theme because she loved Buddha. Um, and I add just these a bunch of colors because also she's a very like colorful person. And yeah, I just did this one some months ago. Also made create my own studio, which is interior design mixed with artwork. So art object, paint, everything that we can add to a space. I will try to do it by myself or to curate it, which means I will try to source these artists that I think that can be a good fit for a space. So this is one of my projects. This was very challenging because we also do the remodeling of these. After the art installation work, I feel very um, fascinated by construction and processes, like how can something change from being like ugly to being looking very different. This is one piece, so I just wanted to show you like how can photography just being incorporated on a space and add just like a different vibe to a place. For example, I did this electronically, digitally, and I use AI for this piece. And after I just put it there in this house, which is by the way this house too. Um, This is another project. This is an apartment in Brooklyn. I try to use a very sculptural pendant lamp. We barely can handle the installation of this. It doesn't look as big as in reality is. Um, this was another living room that's here in Arizona. This is some of my sculpture work, and there is like, I don't know if you see, for example, this gradient of black and orange. This is like a panel, so it doesn't mean that a sculpture have to be necessarily um, something with a lot of volume. If it can be many things. So digital art. This is all this AI thing, which sometimes start even with pictures of things that I do, and I try to mix them and try to prompt them, which means like giving an explanation and a command to the artificial intelligence to produce something that I particularly want. There is a lot of enemies of artificial intelligence. For those that hate it, I understand it. I don't hate it. It's a tool for me. Um, I have many years doing art things. Even since I had like 6 years old, I started studying painting. So I don't hate it. I just make things possible that are very expensive. Um, if I want to do it like from the 0 point in real life, sometimes it is not even necessary. So not necessary to spend that much. I mean, so yeah, so this is some of these. This also helped me a lot to sketch, sketch. Everything I have, I just type it down, and sometimes help me to give form to something completely. I don't know. Sometimes it's weird because the artificial intelligence wants to guide you through paths that are not really your language or your identity or your visual identity. So it's a little bit it's interesting process, let's say. um, so this is over about me, like talking about the real people who do this now. So let's go and say or start talking about art a little bit, and you just tell me, Donna, how we are on time, because I am talking maybe a lot.
Yes.
um,
Well, we have another like 5-10 minutes if you wanted to just continue. I don't want to interrupt the flow of what you're talking about. So far, it's been really fascinating, and you've touched on so many different types of art. So I'm sure people have questions, but we're very much enjoying your presentation. So you can go ahead.
Thank you. Okay. So, art is the creative expression of human imagination, emotion, and ideas. So, again, art is a creative expression of human imagination, emotion, and ideas. So, one of the earliest and most fundamental purposes of art has been storytelling. From prehistoric cave paintings, which depicted haunts and daily life, to the grand murals of civilizations like the Egyptians or Mesopotamia, which is now Iraq, art has always been a way to communicate, whether passing down history, expressing spirituality, or making sense of the world. Um, so from then to now, a lot of things has been changing, but art function very well as a recording machine of humans. So art takes many forms, including painting, sculpture, film, music, literature, design, dance, theater, performance. Performance is when the artist is the medium, so a human make like a happening on a place. So then the artist, like the human, the body is the medium. Installations, which is what I already explained to you, digital media. So I has been showing you some of those expressions already. The presence of food in painting has been a powerful artistic theme for centuries, symbolizing everything from wealth and abundance to morality and impermanence. Unfortunately, food is impermanent. So it's for why to include it on art installations. It's you have to give it a twist. At the end, we will have a little example. So, for example, artists has been using food as a symbol of abundance and wealth. Here we have an example. This is from John Davies, and he has been displaying fruits, meats, fine tableware, showcasing a type of prosperity. Caravaggio. Here, these paints highlight foods as divine revelation, showing how meals can have like a spiritual significance. Food as a symbol of temptation and morality. Here we have the Garden of Earthly Delights, which is a paint that we can spend 1 year talking about it. It's in reality a triptych, but this is the middle part of it. It's in El Prado in Madrid. I seen it in person. It's beautiful. Um, so in this case, gigantic fruits represent indulgence and excess, warning against earthly pleasures like Adam, Eve, and this type of um, mythological type of. So here, I just wanted to show like all the fruits that are here and all the weird interactions that are is showing in this painting. Food as everyday life and culture. So the impressionist and post-impressionist artists like Monet or Van Gogh painted food and food scenes, trying to capture like trivial moments of everyday life, or only like in the right side, just food as a part of something. Um, Food in modern and contemporary art. I'm not a big fan of Warhol, but that doesn't matter. It's important. He is important or relevant in contemporary art and pop art, and so artists like him turn food into mass-produced icons like the Campbell soup image and Coca-Cola bottles also, and Marilyn Monroe, which is not a which is not a can of soup. Um, so continuing with a different type of expressions, sculpture. We have here on the right side La Venus de Milo, and that is even like this is from 130 years before Christ. Um, I think it's also at the Louvre, and this is a sculpture. Like when you think about a sculpture, that's what you think it is, and it is that, of course. But there is not only this; there is more. On the left side, I show you this sculpture of Paul Taburet, which can be on the line of art installation too, but not necessarily. I saw this in a small museum called Lafayette Anticipations. Is in France, and Paul Tabouret is it's a very young artist. He have a lot of support, and these people believe in him, and he made super weird representations of images. So he's a little bit surrealist in his practice. I like him. Um, so here I don't see it's like an animal. An animal in the picture of the left side. It's the vase of this table with a tablecloth. So then we talk about art object, which is a physical piece of art that stands alone as a complete work. It can be sculpture, ceramic piece, textile, or or any crafted from that embodies artistic expression. Unlike an installation, which often transform an entire space, an art object is self-contained and meant to be observed as a singular entity. Then we talk about Duchamp, which I just give you this because it's ABC and everybody have to talk about. Everybody should know about it. If I mean, as a first contact with art or as a I don't know. It's important. So we talk about Duchamp because it's controversial. And what he did is in April of 1970s. I'm reading this from an article that happened like 100 years ago. Duchamp achieved what was perhaps the most brilliant and absorbed art event of the 20th centuries. The story is that he wanted to submit an artwork to the Unjuried Society of Independent Artists Salon in New York. which this society claimed that they will accept any work of art so long as the artist paid the application fee. And he presented an upside down ordinal sign and dated with the appellation Armut 1970. Um, they thought it was a joke, and he was part of the board of jury, and he resigned in protest because they kind of hate the art object of Duchamp, the urinary. Um, After it becomes one of the most famous art pieces, like a huge revolution on like, is art or is not art? What is this? Is an object just because an artist put it on like on showing it is art? So it's debatable. Everybody think differently. I think the champ is an artist, and I think the urinal is a piece of art. Um, um, but the good thing about this is that everybody have a different opinion, and that's what make it so great. um, so continuing, I want to give this reference, which is Salvador Dali, one of the best artists to study or see things about him. He have this lobster telephone, lobster sculpture. Let's say it is not a real lobster, but lobster is food. So I want to just this what you see here. It's a little bit of his paint work. He is on the left side with Gala, which is like a super important character on the life of Salvador Dali. um, the persistence of the memory, which is on the right side at the bottom, is one of his most famous paints. And he is a surrealist painter, let's say. And to explain what is that, is an art, surrealism is an art and cultural movement that explores the unconscious mind and the dreams. So often surrealism results in illogical, dreamlike scenes and ideas. So I wanted to also bring him because he have this amazing example, the face of Mae West, which was just an actress, and this was his representation or the portrait of her. He made this portrait in reality like if she was an apartment. So her hair was like a curtain, her eyes were two paints, her nose was this furniture like on the bottom of the room, and the lips were the sofa of the apartment. They reinterpreted this paint and they made it an art installation in the Pompidou in Paris. So I actually sit in this mouth of that the museum reinterpreted, which in reality obviously is not the original artwork, which is this. Um, so what you see me there, it's because they had a huge mirror. So it was like a visual illusion. And it's great when museums, well, the museum was doing like a huge tribute to Dali. They did this installation, and also outside on the square in front of the Pompidou, they made like some little sculptures of objects who were made by Dali. This is the house of Dali. Is in Porligat in Spain, and I visited. It's beautiful. If you guys see the work of Salvador Dali, it's infinite, and his house is one form of like it's speak by itself. So it have this huge giant egg on the top of it, and this cracked egg where I interact with it. I don't know if you see me, I almost fall. So on the right side. So in this case, I wanted to also bring this because that was one of the inspiration for the cracked eggs and the perfect eggs for the panels that you see, right? You remember
Yes.
the panels of the
Yeah.
orange? Okay, perfect. So um, These eggs are a little bit of inspiration of that. Every artist work with references, like every architect, like every writer, like every, and this there is a very good documentary called Everything is a Remix, that explain a little bit like what we see and where it comes from. Like anything, it's really 100% originally from one mind. And also eggs, it's like everybody, it's in the life of everybody, so it's almost impossible that they are not used by many people at the same time. Dali at the same time create jewelry. So art is not only one thing; it can be multiple things, right? And you can do multiple different things as an artist, and you don't have to just decide, I'm going to be a painter of classical Mona Lisas for all my life. No, you can do different things that you like and that you enjoy. So between the 1941 to 1970, Salvador Dali created 39 pieces of jewelry. These are some of them. Um, he also created the lollipop Chupa Chups logo, talking about food. So all this packaging was originally created by Salvador Dali. There is a sculpture at the right side with a piece of bread and corns here. Um, Also by him. He also used to wrote. He was like a writer sometimes. So there is many books that he wrote. So over time, art evolved to serve many purposes: expression, conveying emotions, fears, dreams, and ideas; documentation, recording history, culture, and experiences; also serve the purpose of recording spirituality or to channel spirituality, honoring gods, myths, and traditions. Example, the mural of my sister garden about Buddha. Also serve to the purpose of aesthetics and beauty. And I will show you one artist that don't care about having this flag, like we are about beauty, like we want to make something pretty. So creating something visually and emotionally appealing. Also, art is great to give social and political commentary, challenging norms, inspiring change, and provoking questions. Um, I found this video which I want to share. It's a music band who use vegetables to make music.
Vegetable Orchestra in Vienna has been creating music using instruments made entirely from fresh produce. The 11-member group crafts unique sounds by transforming everyday vegetables into flutes, drums, and even a radish marimba. Their performances highlight the acoustic potential of natural materials. The orchestra blends elements of electronic, rock, punk, and classical music, taking inspiration from artists like Aphex Twin and John Cage. Their compositions evolve throughout the performance as the vegetables dry out and break under stage lights. After each concert, a chef prepares soup from the unused vegetables, ensuring nothing goes to waste. The remaining produce is distributed or composted. With over 344 performances, the Vegetable Orchestra holds the record for the most concerts by a band of its kind. They continue to explore new sounds, demonstrating that music can come from unexpected places, including the supermarket. For nearly 3 decades,
Very interesting.
Wow.
I
That's
love.
very interesting. I've never seen that before, and I love that because I feel like it, you never know where art can pop up in your life, right? So I think that's awesome. I love that.
Yes, they are in Vienna, and I mean, it's about just like to find out. It seems like if they use the food after the concert, like it's not like they discard the food. I don't know the details about how they operate, but I think it was a very interesting thing to show. So
Yes. Well, you've gave us a lot to think about today, like lots of different types of art. I love how you gave us all different types of ways in which art can be expressed, whether it's music, installations, sculptures, murals. I mean, lots of different ways that we can use food as art, and just to and I think the biggest takeaway from what you said is just to enjoy yourself and to find something that you're passionate about, and it's okay if it doesn't come out exactly like you want it. It's just something that you should really explore if it's something that you're interested in. And I'm going to go ahead and share the QR code in case people want to know where to find you, and they can go to your website to find out more about you. But I find your art fascinating, and the art installation that you started with was simply something that I hope I have an opportunity one day to see something like that in person, because it was really quite beautiful. And I can't even imagine how much work goes behind the scenes before it even comes out. So thank you again, Marrioth, for being here today. We really loved having you on the show. You're welcome back anytime. Welcome to the Global Lighthouse Studios family. And thank you, everyone who was able to tune in. If you have any additional questions, you can reach out to Marrioth on her website, or you can always go ahead and contact me at globallighthousestudios.org to learn more about her. So thank you again so much for your time. And until next time, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.